a vacation isn't just a trip away. It's actually meant to be restful and rejuvenating, and that looks different for everyone. But that's where Premier Wellness Travel, an independent affiliate of Embark Beyond, comes in. And here to share how to choose the right kind of rest is founder and travel concierge Cassandra Marcella. So great to see you, Cassandra.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very happy to be here.
Absolutely. This is such an important topic, but you say that not all rest is rest. So what do people usually get wrong about recovery when they travel?
Well, so a lot of times you hear the phrase, I need a vacation after my vacation, right?
Yes.
So we want to avoid that. And one of the things I think that people really get wrong is they tend to plan their travel around something they saw on TikTok or on Instagram, or I often have clients call me up and say, oh, my best friend just did this, I want to do that as well. And I really believe, whether I'm planning your travel or you're planning your own travel, that you really need to be thoughtful and have a good framework for figuring out what's going to restore you. And that might be different, not only from person to person, but even you within your own life, you might need different things. So my job is to ask a lot of really good questions and get underneath. I like to say that I plan travel with the ear of a therapist, because I'm a certified yoga therapist, and the eye of an attorney. I read footnotes and I'm very attentive to detail. So I've got good listening skills, and I like to also ask, what did you love to do when you were like 7, 8, or 9 before you became very self-conscious and somebody told me that that wasn't appropriate to do? So that's usually, let's figure out how to bring play back into it, what it is that you enjoyed doing when you were a kid, and let's figure out a way to recreate that and cultivate that as an adult. And actually not just for your vacation, but to have something that inspires you while you're away that you can then bring back into your home and home life and to your regular life, so that you live the dolce vitae every day.
I love that. I love that you listen to people when they come to you. You hear what they want to do. And you know, here, especially in the DMV, I feel like we're so busy. We're always making decisions.
Absolutely.
But for those that are constantly making decisions and don't really know exactly what rest looks like, what does it actually look like?
So for people like that, and you're right, in the DC area, there's a lot of that. And so there's all sorts of types of rest. Today, I really just want to focus on 3 types. And for that one, it would be decision release. So you're not having somebody making decisions at home and at work, and you just don't want to decide anything. And so for that kind of person, I would recommend not just an itinerary where they don't have to decide anything, everything's planned for them, but a place where their competence inspires trust, so you don't have to worry about anything. So Raffles in Singapore, for example, they not only invented the Singapore sling, they invented butler service. And it's not about the formality. This goes back to 1887.
Wow.
But about anticipating needs before you articulate them, or maybe even before you formulate in your head. When you're in a place where the service is anticipatory, you then can relax, and the trust and the competence of the people around you can sort of enable that relaxation that you need.
How do you go about, planning that perfect vacation for someone who themselves don't even know what the perfect vacation is?
Well, I usually recommend a place where they are immersed in nature. There's a beautiful place that just opened in November 2025 called Galdu Hotel and Spa. It's very intimate. It's where the silence is the medicine. You can see the northern lights, there's forest, snow. They bring the inside in, and it's a place where your nervous system can really just download. It's a sort of nervous system reset, being out in nature like that. So I try to find a place where they can be comfortable with those thoughts and sort of let things come to the surface. And nature is really the best healer, and the silence is also key.
So what would you recommend for people who are overstimulated and like that kind of vacation?
So I look for urban oasis, and one of my most favorite is a hotel in Milano, which is obviously in the news because of the Olympics this year. This is owned by the Ferragamo family, and it's in an old monastery, so it's like a cloister within the city, a center of calm while the city outside energizes. And there it's so beautifully designed, all the inputs, whether it's the food you're tasting, the music you're hearing, the aromas in the hotel, or the design, and from the lighting design as well, all are so beautiful and so supportive. It's really about the right type of stimulation. So it's kind of like a stimulation reset.
I'm adding all these places to my bucket list, Cassandra, but listen, you have a free guide, a wellness, spa, and medical guide, and we have a QR code up on the screen. Why don't you tell us about that guide? And
So I love this guide. This is a guide where you can go in and say, oh, I need sleep support around sleep, or I need help with my cognitive thinking, my head is too blurry, and then I have recommendations both domestic and abroad. You can download that there. I also have a new program called the Luxury Calibration, where I teach my DC clients, because they all love to do their own planning, how to use a framework to make sure that their holiday is one that's going to support them, and they don't find themselves opening up at 11:30 at night with 150 tabs open because they've been doing research. How to sort of narrow that down and have good discernment and good judgment. And of course, if you want me to plan your trip, I'm happy to do that too.
And we're going to put all that information on the screen so everyone can reach out to Cassandra and her team. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.